All right, let's quickly join our sports and political reporter Wale Adedayo, who was recently attacked in Abuja. Well, Wale, glad to have you on the show. I'll start by asking you, you have been in the forefront for the struggle of Nigerian youths. You've been reporting sports and politics for a long time in Nigeria. Can you narrate what your experience was recently when you survived an attack?
Okay, thank you so much, Promise Efoghe. I thank you for the opportunity to be on your tube this morning, and of course, I want to say that I have a lot. I have a story to tell because in the last few weeks, I've been on several TV stations trying to explain my story, and of course, trying to let Nigerians understand the pathetic situation I found myself as a journalist who covers sports and also cover politics. Of course, it's been so difficult for me because some persons just are desperate to get me down, and sometimes you find it difficult while any Nigerian will want to bring down another Nigerian just because of their personal interest and greed. But again, I think that it is because of my activities in the line of duty that has put me in this difficult or precarious situation. As I said earlier, I'm a journalist. I work with African Independent Television, AIT, and of course, I covered the twin bomb blasts in Yanyan, the one of April and the one of May. And of course, ever since that incident, my life has not been at peace. Of course, the first attack took place when I was coming back from work. And of course, after that came the second and the third and the fourth. It's been one attack after the other. In fact, in the last 3 years, I have one attack or two to report in 6 months. So that is how bad my situation has been. But again, we need to thank God that we are still alive to tell our story today. But the pathetic part is the fact that they've taken this attack even to my wife. They went to my wife's shop to go and attack my wife at her shop. And of course, they also went to my children's school. They made an attempt to kidnap them from school, and that has been the height of it. And then, of course, at this point, I am so disappointed because the security service, the security men in Nigeria cannot really provide security for my family. They've made 1 or 2 promises. Nobody has been caught even till now, except the young man that was caught at my wife's shop that came to attack my wife. In fact, there were 3 that came, but he was the one that was caught. And then, of course, he is the only one that has provided clue to them as per who is involved in this case. But even them are telling me that it is not one thing they want to pursue because of the individuals involved in this. And then it tells you the situation we have found ourselves in this country because nobody is ready to take risk because of the other man. But some of us as journalists, we continue to take this risk because we need to inform. We need to report the story as it is. As I said, I covered the Yanyan bomb blast of 2014, the twin bomb blast, and of course, the stories that came out of that. In fact, as the first reporter to be at the scene of the event, I was able to discover a vehicle. Yes, some eyewitnesses took me to a vehicle. The vehicle was destroyed beyond recognition, but we were able to identify the plate number of that vehicle. And I submitted that plate number to the Nigerian Police Force, and then, of course, to other services that came down there to see, just a few hours after the event took place. So I was able to tell them exactly what I saw and what I suspected happened, because I felt that the occupant of that vehicle, even though they said they left the vehicle before the blast took place, I felt that the occupants of that vehicle should know 1 or 2 things to tell concerning this incident. So I think because of the role I played in covering that event, ever since, and because I have been on TV trying to explain, I've been on television trying to explain the incident to Nigerians. Ever since then, my life has been under severe threat, and I've been looked for by people who think that I have uncovered things that they're trying to cover. So it tells you the story of how it is, and of course, I just feel that this cup shall pass over me very soon because it's not been the best of time for me and my family.
Well, Wale, there have been a lot of tension in the Nigerian football fraternity as regards who leads Nigerian football between Chris Giwa and Amaju Pinnick. You witnessed the election of Chris Giwa at the Chida Hotel in Abuja, and you reported a lot of negative stories about that event. And do you think your contributions or the role you played in reporting the election at the Chida Hotel is a contributor to why your life is being sought after?
Oh, yeah. Well, promise. Well, as you said, yes, I covered the election of 2014. Yes, that was the election that took place on August 26, 2014. You're talking about football? Okay, yeah, I covered that one too, yes. The Chris Giwa election that took place, it was supposed to be a Congress, but they eventually decided to turn it into an election. And yes, as you rightly said, I have been at the forefront of fighting that one too. I have reported so many things about that particular incident. And of course, we also know that those people in football can also be very, very violent. Of course, you know that I was the media officer of the Nigerian National Under-20 team. And of course, I've done a lot of things with the football people and the football family. But in as much as I will not want to categorically suspect the Chris Giwa group for being part of this whole threat, but you cannot rule out anything, because when you are under such situation, you just want to suspect everybody. But I'm just telling my story. I feel more that the role I played in that incident in Yanya must have been responsible for this, because as I said earlier, one of the Boko Haram sect members was caught, and of course he has been able to give evidences at the police station as to as to those that are after my life. So yes, as you said, the election that took place at Chida was not well conducted. A lot of discrepancies in that election, and I think that those that are involved in that election are greedy. They should tell Nigerians the truth, because there was no election, and that what took place in Chida was a total charade. It's not something that anybody should want to celebrate. I know that they are desperately going after the lives of everybody involved in that, and they also want to get anybody down that believes that that election was wrongly done.
All right, I've been speaking with Wale Adedayo, a Nigerian sports journalist based here in Nigeria. Many thanks for your time, Wale.
Oh, thank you so much, TV Continental, and thank you so much, Promise Efoghe. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I hope that what we have passed out today will be heard by those in authorities, and something urgent will be done.